To the channel. Today I'm going to take you through the Dutch news and see what's really going on in the Netherlands and what the Dutch news are talking about regarding the conflict in the Middle East and of course Ukraine and Russia. And as most of you, I don't know if some people are a fan of the some festival, but we're going to get there. Well, as you can see, the headline at the moment, they are talking about, well, Gaza, and Israel had just launched a new offensive, and let me show you the map. So the red color you can see, it seems like there's a no zone. So this is under Israel occupation, like Israel is now in control of this area. As you can see, this is Gaza's city, and I think it looks surrounded, and so like nothing can go in or come out. There was actually a corridor to allow food, medicine, and other equipment to get to the people. This is also blocked, and there's another corridor that seems to be blocked. This one as well. So the offensive is now going on, and there's a lot of killing, bombing, and shooting is going on around, and we can just all hope and see where this lead. And well, nobody knows. And we can go further. Well, this morning, according to the Ukrainian, the Russian hit a civilian bus, and that led to the death of 9 people. And according to the news, the Russian thought they were going to hit like a military area, but all of a sudden it hit the bus. So what does this actually mean? Well, to and flow with information, as you know what's going on in the war in Ukraine. Ukraine says this, Russia says that, and the Western media says this as well. And if it goes on, well, on X, as you can see, President Zelensky, well, he wrote on a X page to put pressure on the European and of course the United States to put more sanctions on Russia, and hoping that due to all these sanctions can bring Russia to its knees. But as we have seen the last 3 to 4 years now, all the sanction has not hit Russia. I think Russia is on about 20,000 sanctions, the most sanctioned country in history, and still is not yet on its knees. Well, economic, of course, what I mean. So I don't know what kind of impact the next sanction going to be. Most people already say, well, it's just like a symbolic something. If we go back to the home page, and well, let's see. And those who are fans of the Sun Festival, as you can see, a couple of days, well, our guy from the Netherlands, Clouds, he make a debut. Well, most people are like, okay, he was good. Otherwise, like, nah, not that too good. And according to the bookmaker, he dropped. So, well, maybe his chances of winning the Sun Festival are getting even smaller. But hey, you never know the less. Sometimes the bookmaker get things wrong. Now, well, that's all a little bit. And then if we go to the next news page, it was called New Pentinel, and this is all about the conflict in Ukraine and what happened yesterday. As most of you are aware, well, there was some sort of negotiation, peace talk going on in Istanbul. At the moment, there isn't not of an agreement. The only agreement that we know about, like both countries going to change of prisoner of war, about 1,000. So, well, I can only say that's something positive because under President Joe Biden, there were no talks about peace or negotiation agreeing both nations and the European Union. And now with Trump, insights and Russia, Putin, everybody. So, well, peace have started. This will only lead to something good, or we can hope. But it's too soon right now to say, okay, this is going to lead to everlasting peace. We just have to wait. But the first step has been taken, and they have come to agreement or person of a change. So that's something good. And maybe next week, there's going to be a new talk. And what I can read here, well, Ukraine is asking China and Brazil for help. Well, I don't know how much help they are expecting from both nations because both nations are part of BRICS. And I don't see any BRICS nation put any sanction or pressure on Russia to do anything. As you know, the European Union, of course, with the United States, they want to shift their policy to China. So they also want to attack China. So I don't think how China can help Ukraine and the European Union to defeat Russia, and then they can go to China. It's a little bit stupid, but hey, you never know. Well, Ukraine has started a list for the prisoner exchange with Russia, as you said, and Macron, he says, well, Russia don't want any peace, and it needs more time for the war. Well, that guy, don't take him too seriously, Macron. And well, Turkey say that Ukraine and Russia will soon start a new meeting again to start another negotiation. Well, the only thing I can say is something good because they are talking, even though the war is going on, but the more both nations talk, have a dialogue, that may lead to something big, maybe like, okay, we need a ceasefire now, but according to the Russians, before there can be any ceasefire, we need like an agreement on certain stuff, on certain things. But according to the European Union and the Ukraine, they want a ceasefire now, the 30-day ceasefire. But the Russians are like, okay, but what are the guarantees? Because if we get a ceasefire, maybe Ukraine going to get more weapons, more all kind of this, and Russia, of course, as well. So that's also the problem now. Nobody knows what's going on, so we can just all wait and see. And if I can go through the news in the Netherlands, anything important within the Netherlands, well, there's just like a different problem. What you saw yesterday on the news, well, like almost 10 men flee from American jail. They broke out. You should check out the video. And let's go to international. Well, Reuters, yeah, Ukraine calls on allies to keep pressure on Russia after talks held no ceasefire. Well, as I just explained, Ukraine wants a ceasefire, but Russia says no. There will be no ceasefire without any condition. And anybody with a good sense will understand the Russian position. If there is no condition on ceasefire, so what are we ceasefire for what? And then after a few months we continue again? No. So that's what is going on. And as you can see, well, a short summary, negotiation meets for less than 2 hours. Agreement reached to exchange 1,000 prisoners, and Kyiv demands immediate ceasefire. Moscow want more talks first, exactly what I just said. Russia convoy praises outcome of the talks, and Ukraine also calls Russian demand non-starters. Well, it has started again. Ukraine wants ceasefire, Russia say nope, and Ukraine says it's a non-starter. So, well, just put in mind the war going to go on until something happens on both sides, maybe Ukraine or Russia, before this war can come to an end. Well, I want to tell you thank you for watching, and if you find this interesting, if you have any tips and feedback, leave it in the comment and let me know.